What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 43 of my Total Warhammer 3 modded Kroq-Gar campaign. So as we saw last time, Talashbog continues to defend and has once again kicked a Luther out and away from the altar of the Horned Rat. Hopefully he continues to survive, as I am quite attached to the guy now. He is a level 13, so not yet immortal, and every battle for him remains a risk. That said, we are building his army here, and will hopefully soon be able to transfer some stegs to his army, which it's going to be at least partially composed of. Should be a fun time, as well as some coatl and a few other things, but I do think that the Thunderous One should lead other stegs into battle. Anyway, in terms of what we gotta do this time around, let's see. We have Oleg Hart here, who is near to Gorok, who we should probably destroy. Then there's, of course, the whole Dragon Isles thing that we've got going on. We should probably attack Dragonfang Mountain. In fact, we should probably do this one manually, because our dinos are already quite badly damaged. Also, we should probably, let me just see here. Yeah, closer. Oh wow, it would actually kill off our stegs, okay. Well, then we're definitely doing it manually. I also had another thought, and that thought was we should probably get a free lord here, let's say you. There we go, and my reasoning for this is that we use this lord. Let's give you, okay, you already have Root Marcher, which is the thing I wanted anyway. We use this lord essentially to rack up plagues. Like, if we want to take Shattered Stone Bay, but we don't want Kroq-Gar to directly have contact with it, we use this guy to take it and Kroq-Gar to reinforce. I think that generally reduces the chance of Kroq or the main army getting the plague in general. I'm not 100% on it, because I feel like I've also seen the plague spread to the second army, but I think it's less likely than it's spreading to the army that's directly attacking, rather than reinforcing. Anyway, we're gonna fight this real quick. I didn't even check whether it was a minor settlement or whether the enemy sallies out. Nope, I don't see the enemy sallies out up here, which means, yeah, alright. We're gonna move in. We can also wait a few seconds while the dinos heal up via the Reviv Crystal. Yeah, I mean, Kroq-Gar and Pradot could probably dish out the damage, and I forgot, did the new guy get his Carno yet? I feel like he hasn't. Not that it'll make much of a difference at this point, mind you. And let's see, the enemy doesn't have much in the way of anti-air other than the Furies, but the Furies could still be quite annoying to our fairly limited number of aerial units. Alrighty, start deployment. We will take, let's say, all of you guys, and you are gonna move in together. Let's just keep the rest of you out here. I'm gonna try to do this reasonably quick, and then you three go here so that we make sure that you guys have your, say, group 2, that you have your heals up, and here we go, start battle. You guys head on in there, and ooh, hello. You guys go into melee attack and start going after that, tower so it doesn't damage you. The rest of you charge forward. And you guys can actually follow them. Alright, there we go. I'm going to speed it up a little bit while we do the rest of this. And here come the Furies, or are they going to ignore it? Can these guys actually get away from the Furies or no? Okay, I see they're not backing off, which has me greatly concerned. Oh wow, the Furies are actually going to land in the pile of units there. Big mistake. Alright, let's pop the shield of the old ones. Let's just kill them all with a single cast here. This should kill off all the Furies, I think. Assuming that they don't fly off in a few seconds. And here it comes. There we go. Wow, that actually didn't hit the Furies that hard. Well, actually, no, it did. It's just it didn't kill a lot of models. Yeah, we've definitely seen that happen before. Anyway, group 2, you guys, the heck is slowing you down? Oh, you got Curse of the Slug. It happens. Alright, good. Tower's down. Is there another tower? I suppose it doesn't matter because we just have to kill off the rest of these units. Group 2, head on in. And I guess we can watch these guys fight a little bit. Lord Kroq, you be careful, buddy. There's a bunch of Beasts of Nurgle. Oh, right, and SFO has Beasts of Nurgle in sets of 4, rather than the sets of 1, and that we have them in vanilla. So a little bit different there. I see that treatment has been given to various units, like the Skull Cannons as well. Anyway, those guys are down. Let's move on and have you guys... Alright, I don't know. don't go into melee, but kill, let's say, this unit of Forsaken here. And the rest of the blob can charge on into the other unit of Forsaken, all of you together. Alright, looks like our feral stegs are healing quite nice. I guess we can watch these guys die as well, why not? Kind of a pseudo-cinematic, but nonetheless. And hey, there's Kroq-Gar, stomping on him with his magic powers. There we go. Alright, and frankly these Forsaken are taking quite a long time to die. Actually, several seconds of survival. In fact, maybe we should chase after them with our faster moving units. The rest of you can go up here. These Forsaken are in bad shape. Probably should drop some bombs on them. Like so. There we go, a little bit more damage, and to these guys as well, and away we go. We should probably just find the enemy lord and kill him, which would probably end the battle. And, we don't need to chase the enemy anymore. By the looks of it, now let's speed it up now. Man, the Curse of the Slug. Repeatedly. And annoyingly. Alright, you two, Stegs. After this, Lord Kroq-Gar, explode that unit, please. While at max speed, but also slow it down just for the actual attack, and the unit is, oh wow, reasonably alive. Also, what the heck? Oh, the enemy Nurglings actually caught Kroq-Gar. That ain't so great. Explode them as well. And actually pop this on yourself first so that you can't take as much damage. There we go. Stegs, go help out with that. The rest of our units are in. Go kill the enemy Lord here. This is what I get for speeding up, by the way. You know what? Go near Lord Kroq and heal him, man. Alright, looks like the Nurglings are nearly out, and we can speed it back up to max. Alright. And I still haven't gotten regen for Kroq, which is probably why he's taking a little bit of damage. There we go. Not that it'll matter, mind you. If I pay attention, we shouldn't suffer much damage from it. Oh, somebody was actually attacking this unit. I guess one of the towers was actually close enough. Probably could have ignored that, but everybody will heal to full anyway. I just wanted to avoid the damage to the dinos. Really, none of this matters. Even the dino will heal to full, as in our one dino that was hurt. Because we do have quite a lot of healing in this particular army. Alright, come on now. And we nearly have the Dragoness. Ooh, hopefully we capture... Well, I think we can't not capture the special harbor, right? Because it is a harbor, so it should always be up. I could be wrong, though. I guess we're about to find out. I assume this place was level 3. Or tier 3. Alright, come on now. Hey, a free Tormentor Sword. Very nice. And yes, indeed, we do have the Sea Dragon's Teeth, and oh wow, yeah, this place is gonna make a lot of cash. Very, very nice. Yeah, definitely have to make sure to build lots of the Grand Plazas in this particular territory. In fact, we can build one right now and max the place out. Let's build the glowing berry patches here as well, and we'll probably build the defensive building afterwards, though honestly, it's probably soon not going to be a concern that this place gets attacked, and we will no longer need walls in either one of these, but hopefully Dragonfang Mount itself is far enough away. Ah, Kroq didn't level from that. I was hoping to get him that regen that I was talking about, but oh well, it's all good. Now, who's up next? Chameleon. Now let's send you up to Sartosa, which we were going to... which we were gonna do here, and somebody's over there, but it's not protected otherwise. And what's it at? It's a tier 5 settlement, so that'll mean we can take it at tier 4. Obviously not auto-resolvable. Valiant defeat, in fact. Well, might be a little bit tough for the skinks to deal with this, but I'm sure they will deal. We'll level them up before attacking, and that'll definitely be a cinematic fight. I'm a little bit wary of Mr. Cobalt Knucklebreaker here, though. It's a pretty okay full stack and might be difficult for the skinks in particular due to all those miners with blasting charges, but, well, we'll figure it out. Then, Kanoskir, you are where you are. You're gonna go for this next turn, so you're good. And Quaral is heading to join you. Who else needs to move this turn? I believe Gorok does. Isoko Rismate, yes. You... We're going to go and take Stormhenge for 5,000 gold, eh? I mean, we can always build it up and transfer it to the dwarves. Hopefully they can pay us back for our money. I just want all these places to actually be occupied so that they're not ruins. Ruins always make me nervous because, you know, who knows if they're full of Skaven suddenly. 8 turns to build this up. How much is this worth to you? Like this. This place is Stormhenge.
Wisdom of your masters.
A little bit more than we just paid for it. We could just do it like that. It'll max out their province. It'll make them happier with us, right? I don't see why not. Yeah, let's give it to them. Ooh, wait, unless we need to trade something from these guys, but no. We want iron rock from Karazakarak, but we don't want anything from Thorek at the current time. I'm just wondering, what if we trade Desolation of Nagash and then, for whatever reason, give it to Imrik? But he probably wouldn't give us Desolation of Nagash for this. At least I doubt it. I sincerely doubt it, but let's find out. Stormhenge... It's not like 5,000 is that much.
What brings you to my mighty forge?
Desolation of Nagash is worth 20, and Stormhenge is worth, what, 19? Yeah. Really? 4.3k? I mean, it's not bad, but I don't think I care enough about it, so we could just have it. Or we could build it up, and by then it'll probably be worth more than 20. Oh, you know what? Maybe. 1,000 gold investment, we just have to wait 8 turns. It's not like I'm in any hurry to get the Desolation of Nagash. It's fine. Let's do that. Alrighty, Kowal. Now, I am concerned about you getting suddenly attacked by Mad Molson, and the reason you're going here is because you want to get us the, Kroq-Gars, which are not actually available here, but we can have somebody else recruit them for you out of the Wizard Caliph's Palace. So you need to head to Lashik, unless you want to reinforce at Sartosa. Really depends on if we want to force a field battle or not. We could just stay here, and ooh... Actually, no, we maybe don't want to stay here. That's a pretty nice army. Though I am willing to bet that these guys would fight us in the field that way. I'm just wondering whether it would be better. This is a lot of stuff to add to the SKINK army to fight, but the SKINK army is at the same time a lot more comfortable in the field than they are in a walled fight. Maybe we do leave them like that. Alrighty, well, Kowal, then stay where you are at El Haik. You can ignore Man Melton for now. Maybe we'll leave Chameleon where he is as well and then fight a much bigger battle. Alright, who's up next? Pyroxy. You are still moving through friendly territory and will continue to do so until you're healed up, and then get all the way, hopefully, to Zufbar to trade it for Iron Rock. This better work. It'd be annoying if it didn't. Gorok, we're gonna go after this guy, Oleg Hart. And I also see that you have levels. Wait, can you attack this guy? Yeah, I'll attack this guy. And decisive victory casualties low. Do we trust it? Is the question. I.e., do we trust our dinos getting so badly hurt that they will then not be able to attack the... You know what, let's just fight this manually as well. I don't trust it. Damn, auto-resolve keeps killing our dinos. And there's a few enemy units here. Hardly worth a cinematic battle, because, I mean, look, this is a pathetic little army, but, you know, a regular fight might be just the ticket. And then hopefully as soon as we end the turn, we'll have a big bite, I guess, as well, of the Sartosans. There we go. Alrighty, loading complete. You guys move on in. The enemy does have a decent amount of anti-air, so we will have to be at least somewhat careful with you. You all can just... We separate you into multiple groups, maybe. Put you for here. Put you for here. Here, here. I don't know. This, Lord Shultep, you can be group 1 because you're much faster than Gorok is. Group 3, you can be, I guess, with the aerial units. Doesn't really matter. Shultep out here, group 2 and 3 can be grouped up so that they move together, and then you are going to be group 4 and you're going to fly together. Alright, and away you go. Group 1, or group 2, group 3, Shultep, and summoning. And there we go, and get ready to drop your bombs on the anti-air here. I don't really care how you do it, because I don't think the enemy has much in the way of a chance to stand against you. And drop away. Alright, now, other units. Okay, you two, maybe one of you extra bombs could be dropped. And get into position and go. Alright, that unit is now screwed. You two, kill this unit of handgunners, and you have bombs as well, do you not? Or at least one of you does. Alright, and then you guys move towards this unit of handgunners. One of you should still have bombs, so get ready to drop it there. Alright, that unit of handgunners is done, so we don't actually need to drop bombs on it. Beautiful. And, flew over it, my bad. It was difficult to select the unit, and like so. Alright, good. Bombs done, and... oh, wow, you're actually taking damage. How are you taking damage? Who's damaging you out here? Oh, it's probably the war wagons. Alright, yeah, I was wondering what was knocking that unit down. Xhotl is in, debuff the enemy and attack him. You are hurt, so you can move away. You can fly overhead. Alright, how are we doing otherwise? Looks good to me. Let's tell the Pale Death to specifically target the war wagons. Ah, damn you war wagons. They're actually knocking Pterodon riders out. Granted, we'll all heal everybody up to full over time, but that's a particularly good use of the war wagons. In fact, we'll send Lord Xhotl out to deal with them specifically. And you know what? Let's send these guys out as well. And they're still firing. The jungles are not blocking their shots, so let's back off a teensy bit. And where are you guys going? Huh. They are on the group block, and yet they were all trying to go for the peasant bowman. Kind of weird. And they should not have been doing that. Not that it'll make any kind of difference, mind you. And oh, you went into melee? I mean, you did for a second. Alright, everybody else is fine. Let's summon another set of dinos. I don't know, right in the middle of this. Xhotl, go kill those war wagons. And flyers, you can come back now that the war wagons are distracted. All of you attack. Gorok, kill the enemy lord. And I forgot to send the skink chief out, but it doesn't matter. And I think with that we can speed it up and the battle should be just about over. We'll still have to chase some stuff down, mind you, but hardly unexpected. Alright, how's Xhotl doing? Where are the war wagons? I don't even see them. I see Roderick Longhi. I guess you can kill him as well. Don't tell me the war wagons are still out here and still fighting. Either that or he killed them all. Wouldn't have been able to see what was going on in the middle of the trees anyway. Oh, there they are. I see one more wagon. Oh, well done to Xhotl. Alright, and back to max speed. Who is still fighting? Alright, the enemy lord is running here. Alright, there we go. Alright, chase him down. I think the second time around we'll be able to auto-resolve the rest of this just fine. Keep dropping fire leech bolas on the enemy and speed it back up to max. If only we had more fast units to chase stuff down, although Lord Xhotl is one of them. Where are you, Xhotl? Go see if you can't catch the enemy lord before he runs off it. Nah, he's already at the field, unless the cold ones can stop him. Let's find out. Nah, they just kind of knock him around, but sometimes he's also moving forward, buff everybody up. And it looks like he is trapped. Alright, beautiful. Alright, so I guess it's just the Lord left now. Yeah, a little bit of a clean-up crew sort of episode to start this one off, but not to worry, I'm sure we'll find a proper fight for our dinos soon, at least one that is significant enough to bother with actually properly controlling units. I think at this point Gorok has faced off against so many of these armies belonging to Wolfheart's faction that I'm kind of underestimating them. Which is kind of why I was surprised at how well the sniper war wagons did against our fire leech bolas, especially considering it was only a single unit of these things. But I have found them to be fairly effective in my current Empire campaign. Yeah, they did 11.5k damage, very respectable. Absolutely making a laughingstock out of every single other unit here, including you, Roddy. Anyway. We could take the money or we could heal up. We will have to probably auto-resolve the attack on the settlement, so I think we'll kill a Neat so that we hopefully can auto-resolve that one rather than manually fighting it. Alright, enemy killed in battle, a man spot. Ooh, a potion of healing, hello. Probably still don't need to replace the Divine Plaque of Protection on Gorok in particular, though, because he's just impossible to kill anyway. He does have a regen. And this is also a decent amount of units. Let's see how much damage we take. Yeah, really? See, this is why. This is exactly why. Our Soros Scarvet or Lord Xhotl also got her, but look at the poor dinos. What is this? Why does auto-resolve hate dinos? Occupy. Tremendously rude. How much will they heal? Only to half, damn. Well, fortunately, we're traveling down to Walatal next, which means we should have at least a couple turns to heal up. And yeah, I think this is a reasonable time to peace out with the Hunts Marshal's expedition, temporarily only, mind you. But while we go back, take out the enemies out on this side, and then maybe down here as well, and then we can always come back to the Hunts Marshal's. And since Hunts Marshal will be at war with Xhotl, maybe he'll make them weak enough for us to actually confederate them. So in that light, peace treaty with you. And he's willing to give us 9.6k for it. Not so bad. Alrighty. Peace it is. And certainly works. You guys also have levels, but I guess we can deal with those later. Not super important right now. Kylok, stay here for now. I'm just wondering whether we should send you down somewhere. Well, the sacred pools are going to fall to this. Oh, in fact, if they're going to fall anyway, save some money on them. Alrighty, and what do we have here? Yes, definitely repair that at Quitax. We're actually looking to keep Quitax, or to some degree anyway. And actually, Tarantula, we can get rid of this and replace it with a defensive structure. At the point at which we redeclare war on Wolfheart, we'll actually need those structures as well. Alrighty, who's up next? Cassitan, you... yes, you are heading out to find Kroq-Gar. And give him all these nice horned ones. Alright. Kylok, you are... Well, I just checked you. You are nothing. Which is not a very nice thing to say. Steel Tech on you. I guess you can keep trying. I'm gonna try. Hopefully you succeed. We need all that tech stolen. And it is a success. Well done, little buddy. And what were you going to level up next? Okay, so you have Specialist maxed out. Okay, so you're goodish. And goodish is all I really ask for. Alrighty, and I believe that's it in terms of the units that we need to move right now. So, now we can do several things. Well, we gotta spend the money on building, and we gotta double check Diplo.
Glade Lord.
Vidrioff, non-aggression pact, but they aren't super liked by the Imperial factions. Then again, they're also not hated by them. Okay, they are hated by Belagar, though. A lot. Mostly because of the treaties, much more than the aversion. Do we leave him alone for now? Maybe we leave him alone for now. We kind of threw our lot in with the dwarfs, so that's kind of where it's probably going to stay. Defenders of the Great Plan still alive for one more turn by the looks of it, though probably not for much longer.
Of the realm.
Also, for those wondering, this is the previous version of the game. I used the rollback function prior to the Chaos and Dwarf update. What this means is that it's using the previous version of Lore of Fire and stuff, but also that I think at this point it's not likely that we can use recruit defeated legendary lords, but also it's probably a good thing because updates and more mods means more likelihood of incompatibility when a patch drops, which is one of the main reasons I'm really concerned about doing that. But we'll see. I also read a thing that Nakai might actually just revive regardless of whether these guys are dead. It really depends on whether he functions like a normal Horde faction or not. At least in the sense of him coming back, because Horde factions do periodically just revive. Like, I know I've seen Khazrak revive a bunch of times in a single campaign after his faction has been wiped out. Which is a little bit odd. So what, do Horde factions, they can never be destroyed fully? No, anyway, we'll figure it out. Let's do the building. Let's actually start from the bottom this time. Sacred Pools, we cancelled you for a reason. We also have a lot of these territories where we're not getting anything. Yes, the Altar of the Horned Rat. Okay, yeah, well, 103 is also not worth doing anything with in terms of money, so we'll just leave you as you are. Talanshlan, you're fine. Itza, 518. We can collect 518. It's nothing crazy, but it ain't bad either. Although I think I canceled this just so that you could get to positive public order instead of costing us research. You know, maybe we'll wait a tiny bit more. You're okay, but you'd be very negative if we actually collected income, so let's not do so right now. Guanji Valley, yeah, same situation. Vaults, Xerexil. We are not keeping Xerexil, and I'm not going to bother building it, because we're going to want to trade it to Clan Angrand. Although I gotta be honest, I'm no longer sure for what we're going to trade it, since the trading of Karrakae Peaks worked roughly how I wanted it to. Anyway, Great Mortis Delta, you're fine. Broken Teeth, you are fine as well. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's build the insect breeding farm. Zvorak and Verdanos. Yes, we will definitely want the goods here. Ooh, construction costs minus 30%. You gotta love marble. And get that Grand Plaza, and we might as well build the Skink favelas here. Once the enemies have all been destroyed in the vicinity, then we won't need defensive buildings there, hopefully, depending on who we fight in the final battle sort of thing, or in the endgame scenario. Anyway, Heart of the Jungle, you can have an upgrade as well. Atalan Mountains, most definitely upgrade the iron mines. We want tier 3 iron anywhere we can get it, because it gives a +1 armor to all units faction-wide. Or is it all infantry faction? No, it's all armies faction-wide. Everybody just gets +1 armor. Alright. Which doesn't seem like much, but if we can get 10 iron mines, 10 armor for all units, both Saurus and Skinks would very much benefit from that. We could build another Temple Guard barracks at Ekron, but I think it's low priority at this stage. Wizard Caliph's Palace, you're probably okay to defend yourself. Krattoman and Misty Mountain, we will actually need to upgrade both of these things to a higher tier before the endgame scenario, most likely. I am concerned about fighting the rats here, but once again, we do still have time. Temple Avenue of Gold. We could pay 8,000 gold for that second level of Geomantic Web, but the thing is, until we get the Caverns of Sotek from the Lore Masters, it's not going to give us too much value. So we'll leave that alone. However, the same cannot be said of here, of Teotihuacan. We could also build the Corral Arena for more unit types. Ooh, Quetzalcoatl. Yes, Geomantic Spire for you. Now that we have the money to actually build these in places, and yes, definitely more money at Casa Bar, Kingdom of the Beasts. We have the Temple of Quetli here, which is quite expensive for what it does, but we may as well build it. And keep building the Beast Slayers and stuff. And we'll ignore the Ziggurat of the Old Ones for now, and I think maybe we'll hold on to the rest of the cash. Now, you know what? Build the Corral Arena here as well at Teotihuacan. Once again, we need a lot of stegs. Most of our armies do use stegs in some capacity, so it's a pretty decent investment. Alrighty, I think we'll hold on to the rest of the money, because we will be using more money next turn to get more units on the field. On the stegs, I mean. Alrighty, so I believe with that, we're ready to end the turn. So, skip, everything is skip. And we're gonna end the turn, and Chameleon's gonna get attacked. So, Chameleon, if you're getting attacked anyway, you're getting points. Now, Spawnkin, most definitely buff all the Skinks. 5 melee defense and 15% missile resistance, gonna be extremely valuable in this fight, as it'll look like it'll be a toughie. 20th level for you, Xylaz. You're on your stag. I guess we can get another point in resilience, get more missiles resistance for all of our Skinks. You're already in resilience. You're also on your steg, just double checking. Don't want these guys to get screwed over. What do we do here? Weapon strength versus leadership. Gotta go with the weapon missile strength first. Yeah. Next, you, Conscript the Conscript, there we go, Resilient. What is our missile resistance on the Red Crests now? 43%, getting pretty solid, in combination with 9% physical resistance. Maybe could have used one more Skink Chief, but we have quite a few, so... Yeah, alrighty, now we end the turn and we see if Chameleon fights a good fight here. 90% sure these guys will attack. They'd be crazy not to, right? Maybe I should have built some towers. The auto-resolve generally undervalues our Skinks, so the fact that the enemy had a nice stack there... What is this? Alright, the Sacred Pools. Yeah, we cancelled that for a reason, because this army was nearby and we had no purpose in attacking the enemy. Or defending? Ah, yes, alright. This will happen, and it'll indeed be these two armies. We have 2 units of Sirens, which are going to be an issue. Norse Roar is available to the enemy as well. 4 units of Mortars, and 2 Rotting Leviathans. A ton of animated Hulks as well. 4 between both armies. Actually, 3 Rotting Leviathans. Oh my, Chameleon. You are going to have a very tough fight here. Let's see what you and your skinks can do. I mean, if they win this, they will have won my heart. Alrighty, here we go. Not going to lie, at least a little bit concerned about this particular battle. Should be a very interesting time. The enemy just has so darn many elites, and we're facing off against them with basically all tier 1 and tier 2 units. The red crests that make up the main line in particular are still a tier 1 unit, but on the other hand, most of the enemies at this point in the game, I think, that have faced off against our faction have learned to fear the adorable little skinks, and let's hope that we can make the 3 Rotting Leviathans fear them as well. Here we go. Battle's gonna start off with our units on the flanks here, our Chameleon Stalkers and our Chameleon Skinks of the regular variety, and trying to annoy some of the enemy Sirens in the background. Obviously, we are going to fire our precursor weapons, but they're not going to be a crazy effective against the Sirens. On top of that, we have to capitalize on the fact that the Sirens get damaged, because otherwise they'll just heal through all that, as they tend to do so. So we are going to actually have to fight them, but we're going to back off in such a way where we can continue to fire on them from various directions, surround them, and thus do more damage. Getting a little bit of help from our Skink Chief flying overhead as well. Speaking of Skink Chiefs, we did start the battle off with a little bit of damage from the 2 Stegs, trying to see if they could hurt either the enemy Rotting Leviathan here, which, I mean, they did a little bit of damage, but I felt like after a few shots, they just weren't doing enough, so I decided to charge them into melee to help the Red Crests as well, or instead rather, and that's definitely going to be needed, as Depth Guard with dual axes should be absolutely fantastic at killing Red Crested Skinks. Alrighty, it's not a great matchup for us, but we'll see what we can do. We especially are going to need the help of the Stegs here, and ooh, the Rotting Leviathan comes in just as the Steg runs in as well, almost moving in to intercept it, but hopefully the Overwhelm, which is just so valuable on these guys, is going to help us out. We're even going to move Chameleon in to try to prevent the Red Crest from being destroyed, as the first unit of said Red Crests is down to 50 units and, let's say, I don't know, 20%-ish HP. The bounce power is still in the enemy's favor, and the enemy reinforcements have not yet arrived, though we want to try our best to destroy this first army before they do. Unfortunately for us, while our Pterodon Riders were hovering overhead and did decent damage to the enemy range line, the range line did manage to see both of those units off, so we cannot rely on them for the, well, as much as we normally do. On the bright side, though, we got more Chameleon Stalkers moving in from the other side as well, so they're about to smash into the enemy line of hand cannons, and with those precursor weapons and the fire weakness that the enemy has, they should be able to do very solid amounts of damage. The Steg riding Skink Chiefs are also fighting the enemy Rotting Leviathan, or, well, there was a Rotting Leviathan nearby, but in this particular case, the Animated Hulks, which are getting shot by the blow darts from our Chameleon Skinks. And, ooh, another one of those Sartosa Grape Shot. I don't remember what the name of the cannon ability is called. Smashes into our other units of Skinks, including the Cohort of Sotek, though we did pop Refuse to Die, and just as that was coming in. Enemy Lord is also here, completely surrounded by piles of Skinks, while Chameleon and his unit of and his Steg here try to hold the rest back. Steg's at 10k damage, which is very respectable, and Chameleon's at about the same, though Chameleon is also quite hurt at about half HP. Fortunately, he is one of our Source Lords that does have regeneration, so he should be okay as long as we can prevent him from actually getting killed. Go figure, right? If you're not dead, you're still okay. Rotting Leviathan's still wreaking havoc in our Skink line, but that's hardly surprising, and we are starting to overwhelm said Rotting Leviathan, which is now being hunted by both Chameleon and that Basti at the same time. Plus, the enemy units have arrived, so we now can only use our Skink Chiefs to try to soften them up as best we can. They've been firing at this unit of deck droppers this entire time, but it's not looking like it's doing a crazy amount of damage. And in fact... Huh. Wait, did that shot just fire at a unit that was falling to the ground? That's kind of interesting. Well, keep it up. See if you can down a few more of these guys. There we go. A couple more dropping. They're called deck droppers after all. Yeah, really quite inferior in terms of range damage from the Stegs coming in against the deck droppers at the very least. I mean, they may not be an ideal target for them, but I was expecting a little more damage. Anyway, on the bright side, it looks like the Rotting Leviathan finally does go down as Chameleon manages to kill it off together with the Steg, who seems to be reasonably happy about it. Alrighty, but that is only one. We have two more Rotting Leviathans and a ton of monstrous infantry, and, well, actually, man-eaters are also monstrous infantry, just not of the undead variety, but they're all moving in. Steg's still trying to knock down those deck droppers, and are still having quite the difficult time of it. The mortar shells dropping around them, but obviously we don't particularly care much about that. On the bright side, it looks like most of the enemies have been destroyed over on this side from the main enemy army, though one of our units of Fire Leech Bolas did run off the field. Here comes Chameleon, just trying to get rid of this last vampire fleet captain. Since the Admiral was already killed, we still have to break the captain. There we go. Nice little swipe from the Carnosaur, who roars his happiness into the skies. Alrighty, now, balance of power is still very much in the enemy's favor as the enemy reinforcements arrive, so hardly surprising. We are finally going to get rid of these deck droppers by the looks of it, but yeah, it seems like these Stegs are much better in melee than they are in range. I'm going to try to focus a little bit on the enemy Rotting Leviathan, though it looks like both shots missed. I don't know how you missed a moving barn in that man. Oh, there we go. Finally, a couple of hits. Looks like they do about 200 damage a pop when they hit. Considering their relatively slow rate of fire, I think that might not be good enough. And that's another miss. Oh, come on. The big boy ain't even moving. And another miss. Huh, at least that one looked like it hit one of the man-eaters. Alright, try again. No, that was another miss. It's almost like they're not... Alright, at this point I decided to switch to the man-eaters instead. And it looks like they did a little bit of damage to the man-eaters, actually. Though it looks like additional shots are missing as well. Man, these guys are shockingly inaccurate against these very, very slow-moving targets right now. They're all trying to keep pace, I think, with the Rotting Leviathans, or with something that is very slow here, or maybe even with the mortar shells, or with the mortars in general. Anyway, in terms of the setup, we've now backed off our Red Crests, who were pretty badly damaged fighting that first army, and are waiting for our dinos to engage the enemy. We've also once again moved all the chameleons, skinks, and stalkers to the flanks there so that they can surround and hopefully kill the enemy mortars, which would allow our Red Crests to once again join the fray without fear of being destroyed by splash damage mortar fire. Dinos are here, and we've moved a Steg, or a Basti rather, with the Ark of Sotek to protect each Skink Chief Steg. Looks like in terms of kills and in terms of, well, actually in terms of damage, the Stegs are doing better. But the Basti has more kills. I mean, they certainly did damage, but it didn't look like they did too much via range. It's probably mostly in melee, and that's okay, because they've returned to melee once more. All together, they're all going to charge the man-eaters to start off, although it looks like we're going to get surrounded, sandwiched, as it were, by these two Rotting Leviathans. Chameleon will have to react to that, and hopefully because of the Arcs of Sotek, the enemies will be doing little enough damage due to overwhelm that the red crests can move in without too much worry. In the meantime, the enemy mortars are being destroyed by our skinks and stalkers in the background here. First of the crews is surrounded and pretty much destroyed, and the second one is about to follow suit as well, which means we can move the stalkers afterwards in to help with the rest of the battle. We also have a little bit of support coming in, both from the other Chameleon Skink unit as well as the Fire Leech Bolas, who are just firing into the enemy Rotting Leviathans, into the enemy Animated Hulks, as that's pretty much the only enemy unit that we can expect to do damage to. Ah, look at the little skinks. They look so tiny compared to really everything that they're fighting here. Very fun battle, though, man. Alrighty, and let's see how we're doing. The balance of power is actually now very firmly in our favor. The enemy lord gets surrounded by chameleon stalkers and starts to take massive amount of damage. They may not do a crazy amount of damage in terms of their weapon strength, but it looks like they have decent armor piercing for what they do, and they can surround and kill the enemy lord. Both of the rotting leviathans are still alive, but due to our focusing on the animated hulks and the man-eaters, the latter have been pretty much destroyed, and we should be able to bring the two leviathans down shortly. Completely overrun by skinks, and it looks like we've taught the crabby boys to fear them as well. Down they go, another heroic victory for Chameleon, always underestimated, but never out, I want to say, stabbed? Whacked? Let's say whacked. I'm just wondering what exactly the skinks do. Bonked? I guess the red crests do have a two-handed mace, so let's go with bonked. And the basties can bonk things with their tails. Man, I am impressed with the skinks every single time. Just like looking at these two armies, you would never give the battle favor to the skinks, and well, obviously the auto resolve most certainly did not. But there were so many monstrous units, 3 rotting leviathans, and lots of everything else. 147k damage, or 147 kills rather, and 19k damage on one of the units of Depth Guard, which I think did by far the best of any unit. And Depth Guard are basically the ideal skink killers. They're meant to kill weaker infantry, and this is just perfect for them. Weaker unarmored chaff infantry. Though I think the skinks have proved once and for all that they're hardly chaff. Anyway, we're gonna occupy the place. Yes. Lovely. That's a free Sartosa. Let's see if the rogue army suddenly declares war on us and attacks us, but if not, we'll have to take it out as well. Hopefully we will have the chance to heal up here, however, as otherwise the skinks are going to, well, have to fight for their survival. Though I guess at this point they're kind of used to it, since I keep throwing tough battles their way. Alrighty, looks like the rogue army wussed out on that one. Makes sense to me. Sacrifice to Mathan, Sacred Pools sacked, we don't care. Cold Ones for Paragiol, Ancient Steg for Xylaz, ah, good. A nice reward for Xyla. Oh, you're on your Ancient Steg. Wait, you're on your Ancient Steg, but this guy's not even on his Regu Steg yet? It's a rank 18. Okay, well, quite a bit, eh? Well, at least we have the Ancient Stegs now. No, I guess the question is going to be whether we keep to the Regu Stegs or the Ancient Stegs. I actually didn't see that the Regu Stegs were doing all that much damage in that battle when we were using them to actually dish out range damage. So, maybe we ignore them. Oh wow, you already have the floating gardens. No geomantic web, unfortunately. You have a spawn pools of the Chosen here. Well, that's quite interesting. And none of the Horned One buildings. I guess we'll delete you as well as the Ripperdactyl hatchery, but maybe we keep the spawn pools. Not so much for the hero capacity, but I was going to send Kowal out here, but now he could just move to Sartosa and recruit there instead. Though he can't reach it in one go. Huh. Interesting. Chameleon could reach it from Kofor, so maybe we can reach it from Kofor. I was just kind of worried about Mad Mulletson attacking us. On the other hand, it looks like we could bypass Mulletson anyway. I don't think there's anything else nearby. Oh, there is a Skull Island here, though, that we'll have to take out, but I think that'll have to wait until next time, because we're basically out of time at this point. In fact, we have 2 Skull Islands that we will want to get to. Kanoskir may be able to go both to the Skull Reef, and then possibly force this guy to attack him, and then attack Poxmarsh, rather, and begin on the Awaken, so that'll be a goal for next time around. As well, Kroq-Gar can continue taking the Dragon Isles, and by the looks of it, he's got somebody to attack here. Are you actually in range? You are. Well, that's perfect, which is why we built a plague carrier sort of Kroq-Gar. Anyway, lots more battles to come, so stay tuned for more lizards. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the SKINK rhythm, and thanks for watching.